right. Plenty to say on this one. Plenty to say. Arkansas falls a little short against Alabama at home, despite losing by double digits for like 70% of this game. They fought hard, climbed back in it, found a way to make it competitive. Just not enough to do it. I wasn't really sure what poll we should do after this. I mean, I don't know. Hogs still going dancing or no? And 73% of you say yeah. No, they're fine. They're fine. Rocky Roberts is going to insist that this was Bama taking their foot off the gas. I think it had a lot to do with what Arkansas was doing. Rocky is I don't know, I guess he's a Tennessee Volunteer fan. Interesting takes by him. No NCAA tournament for the Hogs, or for the Pigs, says Earthman. The Pigs? Fouls at the wrong time is what cost us the game, says Hero Blake. I don't know, Rocky. I don't know, man. I know you love to discredit Arkansas at every chance you get, but just be real. Just be real. Be honest with yourself. Arkansas made the right adjustments at half. Thero playing with some foul trouble, and yet they still found a way to claw themselves into this thing without, they're down a guy. They're with a short rotation. They still made it an interesting game. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe if you're new here, even if you're a Kentucky fan or a Tennessee fan or an Alabama fan, whatever. I mean, appreciate you, Mac. I see you with the retweet. Thanks, man. It was a really good game for a little bit there in the first half. Then it got ugly. Alabama shots were falling. Arkansas couldn't get anything to drop. It was something else. What's his problem? What's Rocky's problem? Well, Rocky's problem is that he's still mad that Arkansas spanked that ass in Fayetteville when their football program rolled in and thought they were just going to take care of business. That's what he's mad about. That's his problem. That's why he still comes around. It was so sweet. Oh, man. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. Same-day services, as already mentioned, quality parts. They got your back. Don't forget, tomorrow is the Super Bowl. If you haven't already, join BroThrow. Wait, that is... Let's see. Yeah, 5:30 p.m. kickoff. Isn't it nice? You guys remember when kickoff was at like 8 p.m. or 7:30 for the Super Bowl on a Sunday night? It's like, bro, we've got lives to live. Nobody gives a shit about the Chiefs and the Eagles. Can we just make this early? And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll do 5:30. We'll do 5:30. So why not, if you haven't, go lay down there's still time. Go lay down a bet with BroThrow. They are a sponsor of Tusk Talk with Ty. Promo code Tusk, all caps. And right now, they're running a prop contest for the Super Bowl. You log in, you'll see it when you go to the NFL tab. It's a $10 contest with a bunch of everyone's favorite Super Bowl props. They have sent out the emails if you are already on the site. But go lay down a bet or go take a bet. It's peer-to-peer sports betting. That is BroThrow. All right. Michael Kerper with the $5 super chat says, not the happiest, but a lot to be optimistic about. Team is showing fight with a lot of ball left to be played and to prove. Yeah, the season's not over. Without a doubt, season is far from over. Big Z, yeah, you're right. You're right, Pigpen. Big Z would have gotten that gold chain tonight. I mean, my God. What a ball game by Big Z. He was the only, legitimate scorer for a lot of the first half. He had 15 points in the first half. Was tearing it up, looking great. Adu Thero ended up with 22 points despite being in foul trouble. Not a bad night for him either. The turnovers are definitely a part of what killed this team, what really hurt them. Because in the first half, that was Alabama. Alabama had what was it, 8 turnovers in the first half? This was truly kind of a tale of two halves. And we've seen this time and time again this year. Listen, don't be mad. There's nothing to be mad about. Arkansas was trailing by a bunch of points and nearly had one of the biggest comebacks ever inside Bud Walton Arena. One of the biggest comebacks against the now will be number 1 Alabama Crimson Tide. They've got issues of their own. They turn the ball over a lot. Alabama, likely a 1 seed, probably going to go really damn far in the tournament would be my guess. They're very fast, up and down the floor. But they turn the ball over so much. I mean, my God, Sears had 6 turnovers tonight. That's their stud. That's the guy they love to talk about. And he had 6 turnovers with just 11 points. Arkansas, and you got to give Arkansas credit. They are capable of racking up steals. They are capable of forcing turnovers. And they did that tonight. You won that battle +3. Or -3, rather. One of the differences was absolutely the bench points by Alabama. I mean, my God. Almost 30 points from their bench. They're loaded down. Arkansas, realistically, considering how horrible Jonas Adu has played, this is a short 7-man rotation. That's what this is. And you're asking Big Z to be your primary scorer. And I'm fine with that, but they're having to breathe the offense through Big Z, and that can be good against teams like Alabama. It's enough to keep you in it, and hell, put you in a position to maybe win it, but you're going to need your guards to step, and it can't just be one guy. You need better guard play. What, 6, 7 turnovers from the guards tonight? Carter Knox, again, Knox 0 for 4. No points, 3 boards, 1 assist, and a turnover. Jonas Adu, nothing. This guy, nothing. Again, it's almost as if Adu, they need this guy to come around. They need to get him figured out, or he needs to figure out what he's doing. He offers nothing right now. Who the hell would have thought that? Who would have thought that 3 or 4 months ago before the season started? He's just, I don't know. You're getting more out of Brazil. Brazil tonight, 6 boards with just 2 points, but he also had 2 blocks. That's pretty good production out of Brazil. It was to me tonight, it was not great guard play. Shot selection was weird. Jarnell Davis, man, it's like he doesn't know what to do with his body when he's trying to drive the lane. He doesn't know what to do. He's either going to pass it awkwardly or he's just going to throw the damn ball up. I don't know. There are things that are upsetting, but then it's damn, they fought their way back in this game. Arkansas fought their way back in this game. They did it by figuring it out a little bit on defense. Of course, Alabama this is the number 1 offense. I mean, it's no surprise they came in and scored 85 points. But the way this ended is exactly how I saw this going in my head, only the other way around. I really thought Arkansas was good enough to win this game. And they proved in the last 6 or 7 minutes, they showed no, we are good enough to win this game. We just had our heads so far up our asses for too long. They had Billy Richmond playing the point guard a little bit. Am I crazy or did I see that? Billy Richmond at the point. And it's not like he was all bad. I mean, yeah, he had a couple of turnovers, but he had 1 assist, 9 points, 4 boards. I mean, that's not bad. He kind of stepped up a little bit, had a nice block. Richmond is another one of those guys like you really didn't expect. Like you love the energy that he brings coming off the bench, but you know he's really like a 4 to 6 points, maybe a board or two, maybe a couple of steals, and that's really all he is. And tonight he went above and beyond that. Alabama tonight shot 55%. Listen, when you go on the road and you're knocking down 34 of 62 shots, you know, you're 12 of 18 at the free throw line, which isn't great, but it's still good enough. You know, I mean, you've got all this production from your bench, like 30 points or something from their bench. You know, a bunch of rebounds. How many assists? My God, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 assists, 3 steals. I mean, their bench was very productive. Arkansas just doesn't have that right now. And I will say this, and I believe this 100% to be true. This is a kind of game, yes, you needed Nelly Davis. Boogie Flant. This was a type of game you needed Boogie Flant. I 100% believe that. With how fast the tempo is, this is the kind of game where he thrives in. And not having him tonight I really think it could have been enough to tip the scales. I really do. You push him over to the 2, maybe let him play that combo, maybe let him kind of take the point every once in a while when Wagner's on the bench. And that was the other thing. Like, you didn't have another guy that could play the point. They didn't have it. Yeah, I honestly, I will say, I think tonight Boogie Flan would have been enough to tip the scales in Arkansas's favor and win this game. I do believe that. You can disagree, and that's fine, but there's no doubt when you look at his numbers, his stats, his style of play, he likes that up-tempo kind of ball. Great defender when it's up-tempo, when it's breakneck speed. He's a really good defender, gets back really well. He does get beat off the dribble from time to time, and that is something we have complained about. But those are usually either coming out of set plays or when the offense has the ball at the key and they're just kind of figuring things out. Yeah, and then he gets beat off the dribble. When it's up and down the floor, up-tempo, his kind of game. I really think that would have been enough tonight to win this game. I really do believe that, and I don't think it would have gotten out of hand there like it did for however long, 15 or so minutes. And that's just part of it, man. When you have an injury like that, you don't have another Boogie Flan, but you do have a DJ Wagner, right? You do have who did actually have a pretty damn good game. I'm pretty sure it's the most assists of any player this year for Arkansas. But very hard. Youngblood was really good. 5 of 9 from the floor for Alabama, 15 points. Nelson, way too easy for Alabama at times in the paint. It was just too easy. The whole game. I mean, my God, how many points in the paint tonight for Alabama? 56 points. They were just driving right to the rim. Just too easy. Arkansas had nothing. Like, these lanes just opened up, and Alabama could have walked to the rim. And some of that, I don't know if it's just lack of awareness or if it was just a little bit of the ISO ball. I don't know. Guys just getting beat off the dribble. It was too easy. And to be fair, Alabama's good at setting those up. Alabama, they could do all kinds of things on offense. That's what makes them the best offense in the country. But my God, 12 second chance points, 11 offensive boards, just 6 fast break points, just 6, despite trying to play up and down the floor quick, which they did. But 56 points in the paint is abysmal. That is unacceptable. That is too easy. Shouldn't happen. My God, they had 29 layup attempts. 29 layup attempts. I'm not sure we've seen that this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. 29. Incredible. Arkansas had 15, and they were a little bit better here, 7 of 15 compared to where they'd been at times this year. Arkansas did end up with 36 points in the paint, and that can be a winning recipe, and it's part of the reason why they're able to get back in this game along with Big Z's play. Appreciate everyone for being here. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Come be a part of it. Chris Cox says, Adu and Brazil are garbage. Any chance we get Big Z back next year? The guy is playing, dude. Big Z's playing like a lottery pick tonight. Hog Blitz, who is, I guess, doesn't answer his DMs in Discord. Man, are we going to do this debate or what, man? I got people asking me, what's going on? You doing the debate or what, Hog Blitz? Ty, if we keep playing like we have the last couple of weeks, we are going to win more games and make the tournament. I agree. No way Big Z gets his with Boogie playing. Wrong. He'll feed him. He'd feed him. He would bring in. He would be such a distraction on the floor. He would absolutely feed. Everyone would crash down on Flan, or the opposite. They'd have to deal with Big Z out in the perimeter, or if they wanted to actually play him close to the post. No, I disagree. I think Big Z and Boogie Flan together would have eaten against Bama. Big Z probably go play with his brother, says Rocky Roberts. Yeah. Is Lawson Blake still hurt? Play him over Adu. Adu's just, guys, he's not fitting in. It's just like the Nelly stuff, right? It's just like the Nelly stuff. And by the way, another double-digit night for him. Congratulations. 4 of 13, but he was 1 of 5 outside. You take away Big Z's perimeter play, you take away his three-point shooting, and you score 2 threes. I don't know. I wasn't overly impressed with the guard play by Arkansas tonight. I just wasn't. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't all bad, but Wagner did a good job facilitating, without a doubt. We need all of you active in Discord, says Kerper. There you go. Bama's so good at scoring very quickly in the possession. Well, yeah, right, and that's what they do, Ty Brannon, sir. That's what they do, right? They score that initial 10 to 12 seconds of their offensive possession. They're going to look to score and score quick. Arkansas just really didn't have anything for that. In fact, I kind of thought this thing would be about 95 to 100 points. I kind of thought this would be a 95 to 100 point game for Alabama. And Arkansas, to be fair, did adjust quite nicely. With a better start to the second half, we win this game. That says a lot. I think you're probably right. A few things go their way. People are complaining about the officiating. Like, I don't know, man. This tonight is completely – you don't trail by as many points as Arkansas trailed just because of the officials. Arkansas had no answer for that breakneck speed that Alabama wanted to play with. Another reason why I think Boogie Flan would have been huge. How many times do we see him against these teams like to play a little bit more up-tempo, maybe not like Alabama? How many times do we see him pickpocket against these fast breakneck teams, right? Quite a bit. He can get you 2-3 turnovers. I think he changes things defensively for you. It's when someone ran like a set play or a guard just wanted to play a little ISO ball that he would just get beat off the dribble. But when it came into that quick transition ball, he could play. Arkansas had 13 offensive boards. That is much better. Just 12 fast break points, however. 7 of 15 on layups. They were 100% on dunks, 4 for 4. Just 11 bench points. Again, here is the biggest difference. 11 Arkansas bench points to Alabama's 31. And this is why matchups, if Arkansas makes the NCAA tournament, this is what is going to hurt you with this short end 7 to 8 man rotation. When you go up against a bench, and listen, Alabama's got talent. We know they do. You're not going to play very many teams like Alabama, but when you go up against someone who's got a couple of key guys that can come off the bench along with, an entire starting 5 reset, when you could kind of do that a little bit outside of maybe a couple of guys, right? Mark Sears is going to get a lot of minutes. He had 34, right? He's not going to come off the floor for very long. But when you play against teams that can do this, that can go deep into the bench and you can't, and not only that, they're going to actually get production from their bench when you can't. Yeah, it very well could be a one and done for Arkansas. It very well could. And guess what? A lot of teams, I believe a lot of teams that make the tournament, they're not playing with a 7-8 man rotation, strictly 7-8 man rotation, because that's all they have. That's all Arkansas has, right? You're going to see teams that really have like 10, 11, 12 guys that are good to go. Arkansas just does not have that. And so it's when you play games like this, why did you come up short? Right there's your answer. I think right tonight you've got a couple answers. This is a big one. Not having Boogie Flant, not having that 9th, 10th guy, not having someone else when you know your bigs aren't doing much outside of Big Z, who outside in the perimeter is doing things and he's getting blocks and he's altering shots. When you don't have someone else to go to underneath or around the post, you know, that really sucks. And Brazil and Adu are not – they're not guys you're going to consistently rely on. You're definitely not going to rely on Jonas at all. That guy is good for a turnover, 2-3 fouls, and 6 minutes of play. That's what he's good for with nothing else, no other stats. I hate that because I really thought this guy was going to be something special for Arkansas. Just not the case. Charles Harper says Wagner had wide open shots. He did. He missed some open shots. You're not wrong. Ty, do you think Wagner should shoot more? I know he runs the offense well, but I think he should take at least a few more shots. I don't know how much of that. Maybe Cal will answer that later. I don't know how much of that, what Cal is telling him. Because I feel like sometimes he's saying one thing, but we're seeing something a little bit different on the floor. Just a little bit. I was surprised Arkansas had a run in them late. I thought Bama would wear them down. I did too, Peanut Butter Posse. You're not the only one. I thought that Alabama was going to wear them down, continue to play at that breakneck speed, and they did for the most part. Arkansas's adjustments and then applying a little bit of full court, you know, getting a little bit better defensive effort by a couple of guys in those last eight or so minutes kind of made the difference in how Alabama approached things on offense, and it allowed Arkansas to get back in the game. Yeah, we was outplaying Alabama in the up-tempo plays, especially there towards the end of the game. And how can you say the refs can't cause an 18-point deficit? James, if you buy that the refs are the reason why Alabama had an 18-point deficit, I want to know what game you were watching, man, because Alabama was just making everything. Alabama was sinking. They were just making shots. They responded every time Arkansas went down the floor and made a bucket or finished at the rim or maybe got a foul and made a couple shots. They responded every single time. That's not officiating, man. It's just not. Did they make some bad calls? Did they miss some travels? I counted 3. Sure. Could that have helped? Sure. Could that have helped maybe not to where it got that extreme? Maybe. Probably. But at the end of the day, if you're blaming officiating for why you were down as many points as Arkansas was down, I just think you're looking at things through your Razorback colored glasses and need to take them off. Alabama was just making shots, and Arkansas had a hard time responding to that up-tempo style of play. They just had a hard time with it. Seems like Nelly felt like number one after Boogie left. Well, I mean, he was playing like it. He was certainly playing like it. Here's the other thing too, though. I love that they fought their way back into this game. I mean, listen, if you want to blame the officials, then you go do you. Fine, great, go. You know, I'm sure someone will agree with you. I'm sure there's another content creator, podcast, whatever that'll agree with you. But I'll tell you what I liked. Whatever the hell happened, I loved that Arkansas fought their way into this and made it a ball game. Considering how out of hand this looked like it. I mean, it was going towards a 30-point blowout. It was going that way. And again, Arkansas played good enough where they could have won this ball game. That says a lot. I don't think, first off, I'm not picking Arkansas again. I am the problem. I'm just going to own up to it. I am the problem. Whatever I say Arkansas is going to do, the opposite happens. So you know what? Just know I'm not picking Arkansas again. I'm over it. I'm not doing it. I'm the curse. I am the problem. I'm over it. I'm not going to do it again. I'm picking LSU. Just know that I'm picking LSU because the opposite seems to happen. So that's what we're going to do. But I will say again, Arkansas was good enough. They could have won this game. They absolutely could have won this game. Alabama's good. They're number one worthy. You know, and for all that complaining that people were doing about Bud Walton in our Discord tonight, they got pretty loud there. Even when people left, when folks were heading towards the exits, they started to get into it there, and it got loud. I'll admit, people leave too early. Basketball, it's just one of those games where 2-3 offensive possessions, and you get some turnovers or you know, whatever. You draw some fouls, you get them in a little bit of foul trouble. Next thing you know, 3, 4, maybe 5 possessions later, it's a different game. And tonight was a really good example of that. You should stay. And for those people that left, you missed a hell of a game. Even though Arkansas lost, you still missed a good game. Do you want to be entertained or not? Yeah, you'd like to be entertained and your team win the damn game. But they fought tooth and nail, got back into this game, and you missed out on that opportunity of watching. You know, you paid all that money for that ticket only to head to the exits. You know, they were talking about it with like 7-8 minutes left to go in the game. They were talking about people heading for the exits. I had a buddy of mine that was at the game that said, bro, I'm leaving, and all these people around me are leaving. And there was like 9 minutes left to go in the game. So I don't understand that, man. Stay the game. You never know what could happen, and they're going to need you. You need to be loud. Could have really impacted the game there towards the end. I'm sorry, I'm using voice text while driving. That's why sometimes it's hard to make out what I'm saying. Oh, okay. I hear you, James. I do the same thing. My dad does the same thing too. Good old Arky56. He does that all the time. And I'm like, what? I don't understand this. And yeah, I got my little Razorback glasses on. They're on there, Ty. But you're just being a normal podcast or not speaking how you really feel. I think he's saying I'm speaking how I really feel. I think that's kind of a compliment. I think that's a compliment. I don't know. Why were people complaining about Bud? It was great. No, they were absolutely complaining about Bud. We had someone in our own Discord, and he was in here a little bit ago. Someone in our own Discord that was complaining about it. Tercer says, proud of our fight tonight. Bama's just damn good. They are. Bama's good enough they could win it all. They're a little turnover prone. They turn the ball over a little much. I think they're like 3rd or 4th in the SEC in turnovers. They got to slow that down. They need to bring that number down to like 10, 9 turnovers a game. They're gonna, and that's something they could probably clean up. But they're also going to be victim to that too, I think, because of how fast they play. So Bama again, 54% from the field. We'll just finish this off. We'll finish off the stats. 26% outside, 5 and 19. I thought Arkansas did a little bit better trying to chase them out off the perimeter, but Alabama did not need threes. They dribble drive. They went right to the rim and just you couldn't stop them. 12 of 18 at the free throw line, 11 offensive boards. Once again, Arkansas out-rebounded 35-32. 17 assists tonight for Alabama, just 14 turnovers, so they were +3 in that category. They had 5 steals, 3 blocks tonight, a bunch of points from their bench. We already went over that. I don't know who would get their gold chain for them. Maybe Grant Nelson, maybe Youngblood. Mark Sears was really not a huge factor other than I think he had that pickpocket that led to 2 points. He took I think it was Billy Richmond who turned that ball. Was it Richmond or Knox? He just cleaned his pocket and went right to the rim. It was nice play. Mark Sears is a good player. He had just 3 assists tonight. Their leading assist was Holloway. Holloway quietly had a pretty good game. 4 assists, 5 boards, 1 steal, 8 points. Arkansas, what the hell happened? Well, 43% shooting. Not ideal at home when the other team is shooting, 55% off 62 attempts. You had 3 more attempts tonight, and you shot 43%. They were, again, they're doing pretty good outside. I mean, they were 7 of 20, guys. That's 35%. You're going to live with that. That's what this team really is. About 20 to 22 threes a game. And now the other thing is they're figuring it out how to get to the free throw line. They were fantastic at the free throw line. 18 of 21. Big Z was 50% there. Like, if you're going to talk about the one thing you wish it had happened differently is him go 4 for 4 when you needed him to. There at the end, he missed that first free throw attempt and he made the second. Yeah, you need the opposite to happen. 85, almost 86% at the free throw line. 11 points from your bench. They did have 4 blocks. So the majority of your blocks came from your bench with 11 boards from your bench. But again, Arkansas overall, 32 boards. 13 offensive rebounds is nice. You continue doing that moving forward, and you rack up some second chance points, and you continue to I don't know, Big Z play. My God, 27 points, play at this level. 3 blocks, 27 points, and he didn't have a double-double. He's not going to have, as long as he floats around out in the perimeter, and listen, that's what he is. Let's just face it. He's a 7'2" wing. He's just going to go out there and play guard at 7'2". He's not going to have any double-doubles with points and rebounds if he's doing that. He did have 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 27 points. Can you imagine if he had a double-double with those numbers? I mean, it's still impressive. I'm not saying that's not. Obviously, 27 points is incredible. Haven't had many of those this year from Arkansas players. Adu Thero with 22 points. John L. Davis, not a great game, 13 points, 4 of 13 outside. Again, I don't know what this guy is thinking when he drives the lane wearing a Razorback jersey. He just, I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened if he left that part of his game at FAU. But he wasn't just a pure outside shooter at FAU. He took a lot of shots, yeah, but he wasn't just an outside guy. He could do a lot. He could score. He was a 3-level scorer at times. We're not seeing that here. It's just like he's just either a 3 or nothing guy. He was 1 for 5 tonight, not exactly lighting it up. And he started off slow. Again, Arkansas 43% shooting at home when the opponent's shooting 55% off 62 attempts. And they're getting production from just about everybody. I mean, my God, they had 4 players in double digits. I mean, that's just what Alabama's going to do, and they're going to wear you down. And then they're out-rebounding you. And they're quick, and they want to score in those initial 8 to 12 seconds when they've got the ball. They want to score, and they want to score quick. And Arkansas just really struggled to slow it down. Alabama definitely has some soft spots, but everybody does. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. Sure, everyone does. There's not a team in the top 10 that probably doesn't have a couple of areas. Their turnovers, I think they can clean those up. 14 turnovers, it's not an ass ton. But, it definitely wasn't good, especially in that first half when they turned the ball over, whatever it was, 8 or 9 times. That was bad. That was really bad. Had that not happened, who knows what that separation would have looked like, what that score would have looked like going into the half had they cut their turnovers in half. I gotta say, I was proud of Billy Richmond tonight. I really was. He kind of found his game a little bit there. I would like to have seen more of it. 9 points, 4 boards, an assist, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers, and yeah, DJ Wagner. I don't know that Boogie Flan maybe one night where he had that many assists. I mean, this guy almost had a double-double with assists and points. 9 assists, 8 points, 1 steal. The offense did kind of flow through him a little bit, but it was mostly just getting the ball to Big Z and letting him do his thing. 5 of 9, you have to live with that. That's not bad. Those are not bad numbers. 10 of 18 overall shooting. 7 boards. He had 2 offensive rebounds. How about Thero with 3 offensive boards tonight, 6 total rebounds? I don't know, man. Ty, should Richmond be getting more playing time than Knox? It's a good question. I don't know. Oates is subbing every two possessions, it seems like. Well, it sure is nice when you can go that deep. I mean, it was really a 9-man. What were their minutes like? I had that pulled up here. What were their minutes from their I mean, yeah, you're let's see, Mark Sears at 34. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4 guys at 23 minutes or more. And then you had Cliff O, number 11, with 22 minutes. I can't pronounce that dude's name. Stevenson with 22 minutes. Philon, who kind of had a little bit of an impact there towards the end of the game. He had 3 assists and just 2 points, but definitely a hustler for Alabama. 18 minutes. Holloway had 23. And I can't pronounce number 10's. I can't pronounce that dude's name. Dabute, I don't know. I watched Alabama play, and I swear to God, I don't remember his name being called. But he had 15 minutes, and then Aiden Sherrill had 8 minutes. I mean, so it's nice when you can do that and you can kind of spread the minutes around a little bit. That's just not going to be Arkansas's. That's just not going to happen. But again, the fact that they held their own, down a guy already with a short rotation, and you're hosting what will be the number 1 team in the country come Monday, and you trailed by as many points as you trailed, big double-digit deficit, and you found a way to claw yourself back into this game. It was impressive, man. I mean, it just was, and I don't care if that was Arkansas, Alabama, or Kentucky, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Florida. I don't care. The fact that they had that big deficit and they found a way. Now would it have been nice to win? Of course, but proud of them. I mean, they really hung in there. Had it gone the way I thought it was going to go, like where it's just a big blowout. And listen, I was writing out notes. Coming out of halftime, I was writing out notes like, oh, God, like this, what am I going to say in the postgame? Like this, like all of a sudden now we feel like Arkansas's out of it again, like they're back to their old selves, and then they up the intensity, and I think Cal coached a hell of a game, and we just saw guys like they weren't giving up. It was really, really good to see. And now you're changing your notes. Now it's like delete, delete, delete. Nope, actually this is what happened, and this is how they went about doing it. Again, 11 bench points, not great. I really wish they had someone that could – really wish they just had a couple of guys that you could just rely on, to bring them off the bench and get you some high production minutes. I'm not saying you got to have stars. And again, Brazil, it's not like Brazil was – I mean, he did have he ended up with 6 boards and just 2 points, but he also had 2 blocks. So it wasn't all like junk minutes, but – you just, I don't know, you wish you had someone else off the bench that could provide some quality, even if it's just 8 to 12 minutes, just get you some quality minutes off the bench. And I just don't think right now they have that. What was Richmond's minutes at tonight? Richmond ended up with 26 minutes. Jonas Adu, very typical, 7 minutes. I mean, listen to this. Nelly, Carter Knox, DJ Wagner, Big Z, all had close to 30 minutes or more. 28 minutes by Nelly Davis. 28 minutes. You just can't afford to pull some of these guys off the floor. You can't do it. That's why I'm still optimistic about the rest of the season. 19-12 in this league is probably a 9 seed, says Peanut Butter Posse. Yeah, I'm still on Arkansas making the tournament, by the way. I am. I'm still there. I'm absolutely still there. Yeah, I think they're going. Because here's the thing. We're going to do this. We're going to do this every time we talk about Arkansas basketball. Every single one of their home games are within reach. Hell, Alabama was within reach tonight. I mean, you lost by 4 points. I don't care about the deficit. You lost by 4 points. You got LSU, Missouri, Texas, and Mississippi State. Mississippi State found a way to win at Georgia, but they barely beat Georgia. And Georgia's, I don't know what to make of Georgia. They're kind of a head scratcher. They are 4-7. 4-7 on the year. Mississippi State's within reach, 110%. They're within reach. I'm not saying you win out at home, but I think that you've got a really good shot, and that should be enough. That should be enough to get you into the tournament if you can win out at home. Tonight would have been big. Tonight would have been like, yeah, no, okay, it's a no-brainer. I think it's I guess I'm close to it being a no-brainer. do you need to win like at A&M? It'd be nice if you can get that one, right? I don't know about going to Auburn. How about Auburn losing tonight? Whoa. At home. Interesting. Missouri's within reach. Texas within reach. South Carolina on the road. I don't know what that does for you. But I will say this. Losing to Alabama, it does still put pressure. Not because you're going to drop back a ton in net rankings. No, of course not. They're definitely a quad one, right? You're not that worried about that. But the opposite happened, it takes a little bit of pressure. So now you're going up against LSU at home. That would kill you. I say kill you. You would drop. Back-to-back losses, quad one, and then what is LSU at home? It puts a little bit of pressure on LSU or on Arkansas for the LSU game. So, yeah, if you could go on the road, if you could beat LSU, go on the road and beat A&M, you feel really good about what's going to happen from that point on. At Vanderbilt is going to be a tough one. Vandy and South Carolina both are really good at home. Make sure you guys like, share, hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Florida looked like a monster today. I agree, James. They really did. I was very impressed with what I got to watch from that game. I said at the beginning of the year, I really think Florida could end up being one of the top 2, top 3 teams in this conference, and that is exactly what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. So your league right now looks like this: Auburn 9-1, Bama 9-1, Florida 7-3, A&M 7-3, Tennessee 7-4. I did not have Tennessee with 4 losses in conference play, and again, we're just talking about conference records. I did not have them at 4 losses. I just don't think Tennessee. I don't know, man. They could be. It might just be that they are built for March and they just got to survive the season. I kind of think Tennessee's going to need really good seeding, and I think they probably will. It just depends on what they do from here on out, right? Ole Miss 7-4, Mizzou 6-4, Mississippi State 5-5. You have the bottom half of the schedule or of the conference in terms of just conference wins. That's what you have left on your schedule at home. Mississippi State 5-5, Vanderbilt 5-5, Texas 4-7, LSU 1-9, South Carolina 0-10. South Carolina's on the road, but you get what I'm saying. I do think that you're putting a little bit of pressure on yourselves, but just win out at home, and I think they're fine. I'm sticking with that until the net rankings just shock us, or someone passes Arkansas, and I don't know, maybe someone steals their thunder, but I don't know, man. This has to be a little bit of it's a downer for Arkansas players, but it's also got to be it's got to make you feel good. Again, that the potential number 1 team in the country had as big of a lead on you, and you fought your way back in this. It's got to make you feel pretty good. It'd feel a lot better if this happened on the road, sure, or on a neutral floor, but it didn't. It was in Fayetteville. But Alabama's gone on the road and beaten teams. That's just what they are, and that's what they've done. They have beaten the shit out of teams. I mean, they have. They're dangerous. Mark Sears is just a damn good player. That's a guy that averages 18 points, and Arkansas kind of held him down a little bit. Now, to be fair, other guys were going off. But so Alabama has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight now. They're rocking and rolling. I mean, they look like, I would bet. I would put all my money on them being a 1 seed. The question is, how does Auburn respond to their loss? You've got, how does Arkansas respond after this game? Are they going to hang their heads because they know they had Alabama right where they wanted them in the last 4 minutes and couldn't pull it off? Is that going to linger around and come back and bite them against LSU? I don't think so. I think they're pretty mentally tough, and they're going to be fine. I think. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm picking Arkansas to win that game, because I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not picking them. I hand to God, I'm not doing it. Every prediction, I'm just going to pick whoever Arkansas plays. I am the problem. I am the curse. So had we played anyone but Alabama tonight, we would have won. You might be onto something. So many BS foul calls the last 2 minutes. I will say there were certainly some calls on Thero that I was like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. Come on. Yeah, I'm not saying there weren't some bad calls. I know anytime I don't put it on the officials, people hate that. But I stand by it. Like I don't think I've seen worse officiating this year. I'll say that. Afio says, look around the coaches in the SEC. This conference upgraded in the past decade. Yeah, we've been talking about that here on this show now for 4 or 5 years. However long I've been doing this, we've been talking about it. The pedigree of coaches, it's the best this conference has ever seen, and now that's resulting in far, far better products on the floor. I mean, listen, say what you want about Will Wade, but look what he was doing at LSU. Yeah, cheating his balls off, but okay, still. I mean, you're going to tell me you don't think he'd be thriving at LSU right now with how NIL is set up? And they had to run him off. They had no other choice. You had Will Wade at LSU. I'm not saying I'm not in the fan club. I'm not doing that. Oh, wiretap Will. Seems like they were quick to call fouls on Richmond or Thero. They were. I don't disagree with that. I really don't. I don't disagree with that one bit. They were very quick on the whistle. There were a couple possessions where I just thought, are they not? Like there was a play. Wagner, I think it was Wagner. Wagner going to the left side of the rim. Clearly was fouled, and they didn't call it. And then on the other end of the floor, like almost the exact same contact happened, and they got Arkansas like that. Like it was like the exact same play. And so it just, I don't know. There was some of that. I'm not denying that. I'm just telling you that gap happened, that deficit happened because Alabama is damn good, and Arkansas was just kind of caught like a deer in headlights. They went cold shooting. They couldn't buy any, like buckets were not dropping for them. They just really started to struggle. They went on a little, what was it, like 6 straight offensive possessions with no scoring, no production at all. Alabama was able, anytime Arkansas started to make some shots, they were able to turn around and make buckets, drive straight to the rim. They had an answer for everything Arkansas did. That was why things, got out of hand there for a little bit. But they recalibrated, they found themselves, and played some fantastic basketball. Like we were joking around in Discord and people were depressed. I mean, go back and look at the Discord for anybody that cares. Go back and scroll up through that. We were all like, damn, this is over. Myself included. I'm in that part. I was like, damn. Blaming myself, like, even though, I mean, it's true. I can't pick Arkansas anymore. I'm cursed. But it was over. And the next thing you know, Arkansas they go on this run. They're getting some stops. They're getting Bama to turn the ball over again a little bit. All of a sudden, Bama had to stop and think. They had to readjust. Nate Oates had to call timeout. And the whole thing changed so quick. That's why some people, when you start freaking out in the first half, just slow down. Let's see how this thing unfolds. Arkansas has played some of their better ball. They have played some of their better ball in the second half. So I think that was also something that we saw. And it's funny when you see people like, Rocky Rick or whatever the hell his name is, who's most likely a Tennessee fan, talking shit about how, Alabama pumped the brakes. No. Arkansas changed their style of play. They made some changes with what they were doing defensively. You saw a little bit of full court press. Arkansas got to a level where they could go toe-to-toe with Alabama. And that's what we've been talking about all year. This team is good enough. They can go toe-to-toe with the number one team in the country. They can. They have the athletes. They've got 5 stars. They've got studs. They've got guys that are going to either be lottery picks, first-round picks, or they're going to have their moment in the NBA. They've got guys on this roster, one of them sitting out for the rest of the year. And they're still taking teams like this to task, okay? So, I'm sorry, But Arkansas is going to – I think they're going to get another upset this year. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have said that. I'm standing by it. I don't care. I didn't say who, okay, as long as I don't say who. Yeah, you just have to deal with it. You don't go on the road and beat Kentucky and Texas, beat Michigan on a neutral floor. You don't do that and not at least have a team that's capable. They're more than capable, and they're gonna be tough. Now, could they get blown out? I'd be Auburn is just a game. I don't like that matchup, but I never liked the Kentucky matchup either, and we saw how that ended. Auburn looked human today. They looked human. That always gives you a little bit of hope when you watch someone you thought was Goliath. Now, not that Florida's David, but when you see Goliath fall, kind of gives you a little bit of hope. And at home, by the way. This wasn't on the road, again, or a neutral floor. It was at home. So it gives you a little glimmer of hope. Maybe they are human, and if they're human, Arkansas can damn sure go at least toe-to-toe with them and make it interesting. I'm messing you up. What'd I do? 8 games left, and I'm only worried about 2, says Megan. Megan, what are you doing up? It's like midnight where you live. What are you doing up, ma'am? You're in bed by like 6 p.m. What are you doing? I tell you what, I'm going to have to lay off this Mountain Dew because I got to go to bed after this, y'all. I had an energy drink. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm drinking this Mountain Dew, which I shouldn't be doing. All right, we will be back next week. A lot to talk about. We will have spring camp. I think we're supposed to get emails. The media is supposed to get emails when these things are going down next week. I think. No, don't quote me on that. I'm trying to remember last year. It feels like we may not know anything next week, actually. We may not know anything until the end of the month. I don't know. But, yeah. Your predictions are messing us up. No, you're probably right, Ty. You're probably right. I'm going to have to just pick the opponent every time. I'm just going to pick LSU. Just know that I'm going to do that. Monday when that comes up. By the way, that is another 8 p.m. game if you didn't already know. They're killing us, man. They don't know what they're doing to us. They're killing us. 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night. Good news, Arkansas's got an 11 a.m. tip-off against A&M, which will be, if you lose to LSU, that A&M game becomes really big. It's really big anyways. But so LSU on the 12th, 8 p.m. A&M will be an 11 a.m. tip-off. The only other early games you got South Carolina on March 1st, which will be at 12 p.m. And then, thank God, you end this regular season on March 8th against Mississippi State. So Saturday, March 8th at 11 a.m. Thank you, God. And then the tournament starts the 12th. The SEC tournament, that is. The SEC tournament. So, Peanut Butter Pasta says LSU will be a blowout. LSU is so bad. Arkansas should have beat them. Arkansas should have beat them when they were still trying to figure shit out, and they still lost that game by 4 points at LSU. I mean, that version of Arkansas should have beat them. So, I'll just leave it at that. All right. Again, that's it. We're done. I appreciate everyone for being here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. I've seen a couple of names in here I've not seen before, probably Kentucky fans, but that's okay. Hit the subscribe button. Well, I've got cards ready to be shipped out, and I've got to give away pack number 2 of the On It cards. Is this it? Yeah. Box 1, pack 2. This is being given away. We hit 50 predictions tonight. So whoever picked Alabama, your name's going to go on a wheel, and you're going to get a spin for this card. That's whether you're a Patreon supporter or not. That's just for being in our Discord and getting the right pick. That's it. Is that simple. So come be a part of what we do in that Discord. All right? Check out Patreon. Fantastic month of January. You guys are awesome. We're going to keep that rocking and rolling. Don't forget, man, spring camp. Patreon supporters are going to be getting exclusive content based on what's happening at spring camp. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, assuming I'm credentialed. Hell, I may not get invited. I don't know. And then we'll just have to, we'll make up some kind of content for Patreon anyways, even if I'm not able to go to practice. Don't forget, I am going to be gone like a week too. I'm going to be on a cruise in the end of March. So Travis Ford and Tim Neal will be taking my place while I'm gone. They'll be handling whatever's going on in Arkansas sports. So, yeah, hopefully you'll show them the same support you show me and come through for them and come listen to what they have to say about the Arkansas Razorbacks. Whatever's happening at that point in time when I'm gone. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's a late one, but you know what? That's all right. Get plenty of rest and get ready for the week. Let's end that poll. Hogs still dancing. 72% of you say yes. All right. Great. Cool. Appreciate you, and I'll see you next week.